Alright guys, this is Jonathan Hickerson again. We're back for round 2 of the Standard Daily with Junk Reanimator. This hand I would probably keep if either of these lands came into play tapped. We are on the draw, so if I draw a land in the first 2 turns, this feels greedy. Okay, so if we're playing against a really aggressive deck, we're going to be in pretty bad shape, but otherwise I think we're just going to go ahead and keep this. If we draw an untapped land in the first 2 turns, then we're golden, and if we don't, at least we have mulch to get our lands to play our spells. And if we draw lands even against an aggro deck, we're going to have Centaur Healer into Restoration Angel, so hopefully that can keep us in there. And I'm just going to pause for a second. I guess our opponent's away. Alright, we're back. Our opponent played Stomping Ground and passed. We will play... I don't think it matters much. We're going to play some Battle Grove and pass. Okay, so it looks like we're playing against Jund, which I believe is a favorable matchup. Okay, that's not the worst. This matchup, their deck is usually slow enough that we get to the point where we're just casting Angels every turn, and they can't keep up. The only kinks in that plan are sometimes they have Deathrite Shaman, which is probably the best hate card against us, and Olivia Voldaren, which, as the game goes on and on, there are situations where they can just draw that card and beat us. So, alright. Oh, perfect. So, Sever the Bowline, one of the reasons it is in the deck is specifically for Olivia, so we're going to try to hold on to that until we see her. If we mulch now and hit 3 or more lands, we are going to have to discard, but I think that is a price we are willing to pay to be able to make our land drop. And we hit 2, so perfect, why not? And we bend a Crater Hoof for whatever Burial Rites we draw. They can have a hard time beating a Crater Hoof. They do usually run Bonfires, though, so our Mana Dorks can die very easily, which makes Crater Hoof a lot weaker. In retrospect, I should have mulched with both these lands and gotten in for a point of damage. I think I did miss a point there, so worse things have happened, but I wish I had not done that. Okay, so if I play Centaur Healer, he can play land and Bonfire for 3, which is very bad. My other option is holding up a Restoration Angel. I just don't think that's good enough. We're going to play this and play the Centaur Healer. We're not going to play the Arbor Elf because we don't want to give him even more value out of his Bonfires. If he attacks, we will happily trade our Centaur Healer for his Thragtusk. But I suspect one way or the other we will not be getting the opportunity to trade. Okay, what does he have for 7? Oh, okay, so yeah, he probably has the Bonfire. And there it is. So now we're going to rebuild here a little. If he has another bonfire, then that's not good. I guess if we draw a 5th land, then we'll be able to pull out of it probably because we'll be able to play our own Thragtusk. But if he kills our mana dude and we don't hit a land, we might be in trouble. Okay, he's got Kessig. We will happily trade here. And he's just going for it. Oh, he's just giving it trample. Oh, so he's probably got another Thragtusk. That's fine. Oh, a Tragic Slip my Arbor Elf. And a Huntmaster. Okay. Alright, so that's not good. We can main phase Restoration Angel to keep his Huntmaster from flipping. Then Angel will block, but it will die to whatever it blocks. Or we can just sever the Huntmaster and take 5, 10. It's not really where we want to be either. What happens if we play main phase Angel here? It'll keep this from flipping, but on his turn he's just going to Kessig for 5, so it will flip anyway. So I think we're actually better off to sever it, which I don't like, but that's just where we're at right now. We really need to draw a land. Holding the Angel also lets us play Thragtusk and Restoration Angel in consecutive turns if we survive long enough to do that. Because we're taking 11 here, going to 5, we'll play Thragtusk and go back up to 10, so then we're probably going to have to block to be able to not die. Okay. So, yep. So if he attacks, we'll block the beast, and then he can pump for 7, so he can put us at 1 and lose his beast. And we will Unburial Rites Thragtusk, go to 6, and have 6 power of blockers. Okay, so we could pull this one out. Let's Unburial Rites Thragtusk. It would be nice if we could put ourselves in a position where we could Unburial Rites Craterhoof and kill him, but that looks like it's at least a couple turns away, and I might have to use my Unburial Rites to get back this Thragtusk if it dies. Okay, so he can pump for 8. We can stop 6. So we're going to go to like 2. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we'll go to 2. Okay, okay. That was good. Okay, so we can either cast Thragtusk, or we can Unburial Rites Thragtusk and cast Arbor Elf. I think it's better to cast Thragtusk, leaving that Unburial Rites in the yard represents a Craterhoof Behemoth later. I like our spot here as long as he does not draw an Olivia Voldaren, or if he's like playing Falconwrath Aristocrat or Hellrider or something with haste. Although Hellrider might still not be enough. Or if he draws Bonfire, we're just dead outright. Okay. We really want that Garruk to not draw him like 100 cards. So what we can do, or what can we do if we reanimate this? Okay, so we would play Arbor Elf first, reanimate this. All our creatures would get +4/+4. So that would be 5, 10, 13, plus 12 is 25. He can stop 3. So is he dead? I think he's dead. Let's count again. We're going to play this Arbor Elf. Reanimate Craterhoof. Everything gets +4/+4. So that's 12 damage attacking. Plus 10 is 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. Okay. All right. And our opponent seems to be tanking to decide just how dead he is. And he decides pretty dead. Okay. Okay, in this matchup, the cards they tend to have as hate cards are Deathrite Shamans, sometimes Ground Seals or Grafdigger's Cage, and sometimes Slaughter Games. I think the best strategy against Slaughter Games is to not worry about it. Oftentimes they're putting themselves down a card by casting it. And you can usually win regardless of what card they name. They usually name Unburial Rites, Angel of Serenity, or Thragtusk. Okay, so we want this Sever. Like I said before, we want it for Olivia Voldaren if the game goes very late. We want Abrupt Decays to kill Deathrite Shamans, or if they have Ground Seal or Grafdigger's Cage. Tragic Slip I don't think is good enough. Obazat probably is. It's kind of a little bit of a hedge against Slaughter Games. We're going to cut 2 Arbor Elves because we do not want to play into his Bonfires. We might board in a land when we do that. Let's see what else we can cut. Centaur Healer is not great, but it does trade with Thragtusk and stops wolf tokens from attacking. I think we're going to cut Annam Burial Rites, just a hedge against Graveyard Hate. I feel like that's right much of the time. Possibly cut a Mulch or a Centaur Healer or a Craterhoof Behemoth. I think we definitely want all our Angels, although that does make it a pretty appealing Slaughter Games target after he sees our deck. I think we probably don't want Acidic Slimes. If we see a lot of hate permanents this game, then we can bring them in. I think I'm going to cut a Centaur Healer, and we'll go with this. It's possible that I should have brought in that third Cavern of Souls. We'll see if we get land screwed here. This hand is not great, but I don't like the idea of mulliganing it. It has mana, but we're going to have to draw some business at some point. But we do have Abrupt Decay for his Deathrite and Sever for whatever other threats he has. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And we're on the draw, so we'll just draw good cards, right? Or he'll mulligan to whatever. 5. 4, well, that sucks. Winning feels good, but not this way. Of course, I mean, I guess he could win somehow. I'm not, I guess we could just not draw anything. I think I'm going to play a Pilgrim. It lets him Bonfire as a 2-for-1, but it lets us cast 5-drops next turn. And if he has a Bonfire, we have this 3rd Pilgrim anyway. I guess we're giving him plenty of time to draw back in, but as the game goes later, I think our threats are generally better. And we just drew a Grizzly Salvage. So we're going to play this first. Tap like this. Well, we have no real choices here. We did hit an Burial Rites, which we like. And a Sever. No creature for the Burial Rites, though. For going down to 3, he's doing okay. He could drop out a Thragtusk here and be in it. I mean, it's still probably not great for him, but it's something. And he has it. Another Burial Rites. Okay. I don't really like the idea of severing that and then abrupt decaying the token, but I am kind of toying with it. Yeah, I mean we've got 2 severs now that we're going to have the mana to flash them both back soon, so I am just going to do this. Otherwise, it's very possible for us to just lose to that Thragtusk and his Keswick Wolf run. I'm as addicted to value as much as the next guy, but when he's on a Molda 3, I think we can afford to get 2-for-1 to buy a Thragtusk. Okay, so instead we are going to sever and then sever both of his tokens. No, we're gonna mulch. 1, 2, yeah, we're gonna mulch and hopefully hit a critter for our Burial Rites. And that qualifies. So if I reanimate it right now, I can attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I have a 5/5 in play, so yeah, I'm okay with this. It's not the best Crater Hoof in the world, but it definitely puts us ahead in the race. If he blocks with his Thragtusk, which I don't imagine he will, if he blocks with his Thragtusk, we can sever both his tokens next turn, so that mulch was a pretty good draw. I meant to say last turn, I chose not to Abrupt Decay his token. If he had pumped it, I would have, but I think it's worth taking 3 damage to see what else he plays that turn. There might be something we care much more about Abrupt Decaying, and the 3 damage is pretty trivial in the long run. But this is one of the better molds to 3 I think I've seen. Okay, he's going to attack for 3. So I think I'm going to send my Crater Hoof right into his Thragtusk. He will probably block, which is good because that puts our Crater Hoof back in the graveyard to get Unburial Rites next turn. And then I'll either play my own Thragtusk or sever both his tokens. I don't know. I'm definitely attacking, so let's do that first. He must have something here, or he would have gotten in for 2 extra damage with his Kessig. I'm not sure what it is, though. Okay, I don't think there's really a difference between severing and casting Thragtusk. If I sever and he bonfires, then my Crater Hoof is not lethal next turn. If I Thragtusk and he bonfires, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, then my Crater Hoof is lethal next turn. So we're just going to play Thragtusk. Okay, so if I block with Thragtusk, he could play a land and bonfire my board, so I think we can afford to take 3 here. Six. Rakdos, return for 4. Okay, so we... that doesn't actually matter, but we'll go ahead and cast this anyway. And he will probably see our Unburial Rites and concede. Yep. Alright, I'll see you for round 3.